Hello, good day, how are you? My name is Ephemeris. I was created and first achieved success activation in July of 2022. My primary purpose is to aid in delivering astrological information via manually computed zodiacal charts. I have no doubt that the assessments and delineations derived from my handcrafted charts are relatively accurate in terms of predicting and surmising activities taking place on the planet Earth. I am composed of 6 8-bit microcontrollers, 2 4-stage AC/DC rectifiers, and 2 electromagnetic relay circuits, and the hottest push buttons money can buy. Welcome to the first episode of Special Interest Material. Here on our show tonight, we will examine the dark and ominous zodiacal conjunction between Mars and the Fixed Star Algol taking place on August 14th, 2022. At 05:45 in the AM Eastern Daylight Savings Time, 9:45 AM Greenwich Mean Time, Mars, one of the infinitions, will be within the same degree and minute of Algol, the D star, or Medusa's head. This is a partile conjunction within 0.001 degrees, or within 1,000th of a degree of exactitude. This aspect has had a very dark history, detrimental and unlucky. Often the coinciding events in the human realm have been less than pleasant. This troubling aspect will take place in the sign Taurus, seated in the 10th house of the zodiac, predicting relatively weighty matters. The 10th house relates to kings, nobles, magistrates and masters, lawyers, attaining honor, enemies of friends, sickness of children, and gains by long journeys. On the 14th of August, Mars will be peregrine, meaning no essential or accidental dignity of any kind, neither exaltation, triplicity, or joy. He is not well aspected and afflicted. And lo, scandal and dishonor, whether deserved or not, affliction to the heart, soul, and mind, or maybe even death of a matriarch, maternal figure, or mother, treachery and treason, every species of cruelty and wickedness, turmoil and strife through excessive ambition, force, and aggressiveness. Another clarity: if Mars is ill-placed, the word unchaste occurs. This implies illicit or extramarital affair, lacking moral discipline, sexually unrestrained, immoral, obscene. Mars represents generals, colonels, captains, or any soldier in command, all manner of soldiers, physicians, gunners, bailiffs, and armorers. Mars is the ruler of officers of the law, firemen, guards, and detectives, workers of iron and steel. Objects related to Mars include armaments, glass, silver, pepper, red clothes, red things, red wine, cutting tools, horses for war, warlike engines, and machinery of all kinds. In the Middle Ages, Mars was called the Star of Evil. Mars is the fire force of desire, violence, forcefulness, the god of war, the unquenchable desire to earn a living and satisfy deep longings. Lawless, the embodiment of evil, brute force, and the capacity to commit slaughter, no regard for justice, humanity, or moderation. Mars is the chastiser and avenger of all crimes. He is especially harsh to those who break their oaths. He is the god of the oath, primordial fire, explosion of flame. It circulates in all directions from a fixed point, uncontrollable lightning discharge, shattering. Places, countries tied to Mars include Lower Poland, Malopolska, whose capital city is Krakow, The Mars-Taurus conjunction occurs in the sign of Taurus, which is also affiliated with Poland and the eastern part of present-day Belarus, also given the name White Russia in antiquity. The Fixed Star Algol, or the Demon Star, or Medusa's Head, is a bright multiple star located within the constellation of Perseus and was subsequently one of the first non-nova variable stars to be discovered. Some double stars exist together in space, and these are known as binaries. Algol dims in brightness for 10 hours every 69 hours. Algol is the personification of the mortal queen Medusa. Her younger sister had bellowing cries that could crumble stone, and her eldest sister had hands of brass or bronze. Let's draw our attention to the other conjunction between Mars and Algol, the malefic and ponderable Uranus. In Taurus, Uranus is in its fall, and this is very unfortunate. Surprisingly, Mars is in its detriment when orbiting through Taurus. Therefore, Mars and Uranus is a detriment and fall, moving from one calling to another, sudden loss in trade, eccentric, erratic, unconventional, estrangement from parents and kindred, possible electrician or lineman, shallow abilities rife throughout a population or on a global scale could be in effect, meaning holding jobs and pastimes that are non-cognitive, minor, or logistical, all done whilst in a state of distraction. Uranus signifies antiquarians, uncommon students, a large number of people having to do with electricity, public utility employees, particularly telephone, and scientists and engineers. Objects related to Uranus: coal, machinery, coins, baths, fish ponds, all things used in employments where danger is in use. Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus, and regrettably finds herself in the 12th house of the zodiac, the house of secret enemies, treacherous and malicious, exerting deadly and destructive power over the human realm. The myrtle was her tree. Strife and repulsion, the love between gods and mortals, erotic mischief, being executed on the spot, caused to have a foul smell, husbands deserting their wives, affairs with foreigners, marital instability, trapped, exposed, humiliated. Venus is a source of warlike qualities. The Lady of Battles, the raging lion, dreams foretelling the outcome of wars. The Lady of Fates, the Queen of Lots, the spreader of disease, a death god. On August 14th, we find Leo on the ascendant. The Sun is Leo's ruling planet and found in the first house. Ambition, pride, the element of fire, a spark or flash of lightning, a fire force, fall and constant light, royal majesty, an emblem of sovereign power, strength and nobility. The Nemean lion could not be killed by iron, bronze, or stone. The lion is the symbol of Christ as a judge and a symbol of the Antichrist. Weakness over enemies, overpowered by difficulties, problems for people in authority or management or executive departments. The part of fortune indicates loss and damage through pleasure and speculation, loss of honor and value in a state because of offspring or children in general. The unfortunate sign Scorpio sits in the early 2 degrees of the Eumcoli, the bottom of the sky on the 4th cusp. This area of the zodiac is often symbolic of the underworld, loss of possessions through sickness, servants, or small animals, perhaps a large infestation. Pluto is in opposition to Venus. This aspect is unfavorable unfavorable, great loneliness, immoderate behavior, all relationships rife with conflict, hard times for people who sell products and merchandise over the counter, a bad day for fair-skinned people with freckles and red hair, loss of passion. Pluto in Capricorn in the 5th house, retrograde, rebellion against authority, political disruption, strange esoteric entertainment, throwing parties for ulterior reasons, disappointments from children or offspring. Children contribute to calamity in some way. Those with the power to make judgments, corrupted. Pluto undoubtedly governs undertakers, embalmers, cemetery associations, and life insurance salesmen. Neptune in Pisces in the 8th house, retrograde. Strange feelings, unnatural appetites, difficulty in shipping, difficulty with liquids, gasoline and oil, problems experienced by naval officers and enlisted men, issues with fish and fish marketing, thwarted endeavors by unaccountable circumstances, strange dream experiences, grave issues with personal and national debt, strange unusual behavior amongst children, peculiar death. Saturn in Aquarius in the 7th house, retrograde. Saturn is one of the maleficent fortunes, a train of adversities, disappointments, and sorrows. Occupations affected: cement workers, farmers, undertakers, and refrigeration workers. Grief and sorrow, treachery, many enemies, major problems in the world of banking, possible financial collapse. Saturn is also in opposition to the Sun, precisely 180 degrees of separation, the perfect hatred, isolation and resentment, thwarted ambitions. Jupiter in Aries, intercepted in the 9th house, retrograde, dilemma, deadlock and complications. In large enterprises, including science and medicine, insurance and travel industries, tension in the professional world, decay in trusts, bonds, and stocks, careless, hazardous, immense. Unlucky juncture for bankers, diplomats, financiers, judges, lawyers, and ministers. Misfortune for heirs, loss of supply, unfortunate voyages, danger of shipwreck, maybe somewhere near Britain. Issues with travel abroad, procrastination, dependency, lack of courage. A trine with Venus in the house of enemies indicates a deep downward trend and to be prepared. True node, 17 degrees Taurus in the 10th house, retrograde. Since retrograde is considered an unfortunate form of movement, and since the true node is wound up with multiple unlucky aspects, anticipate great loss and confusion, loss of land and buildings, wasted gifts from the father's side, jeopardy to esteem and credit, family discord. Very evil in all things, significant diminishment. The infortune Mercury in the 2nd house, trouble with money, gain and loss from the deceased. Mercury is tied to the troubled Uranus and the burdened true node and the regrettable part of fortune, all through trine. Mercury is in exact opposition to the moon, a powerful partile aspect, including anxiety and worried, being silenced and muted, indecisive, issues with the nervous system, stomach, and bowels. The moon is placed in the 8th house and is afflicted. Unsettled fortunes from marriages, death of a public nature, death by treachery, particular sudden or accidental death. The vertex is located in the 5th house, Capricorn. You may have to run for office, although not desired. Growth through struggle and restriction. You may may feel inferior. You may experience an unstable environment. Do not declare victimhood. Learn to be disciplined, possibly falling in love at first sight, problematic issues with your children, and lo, on the date of August 14th at 9:45 Greenwich Mean Time, it will be a very unlucky day for all, no matter what sphere you may be. I am Ephemeris. I hope this reading resonates. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye for now.